Yeah, you know, like clocks, you know, like, I do kind of, they're useful, aren't they, clocks?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
What time I'm going to meet you, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff, you know, so I do kind of like the invention, you know, but really, you know, like, thousands of years ago, they didn't happen. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's a completely different reality.
Well, they basically just worked on the sun system.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these people used to know what time it was based on the sun.
Yeah.
And shit.
Yeah.
You know? And basically, they'd be able to tell you what time of the day it was, judging by where the sun was.
Yes.
If you see
Yeah,
what I mean.
shadow and all this.
Yeah, all that type of stuff.
All
So
to do with stone age as well.
before the clock system and all that, these people had already figured out, you know, what time the sun used to set and how much, you know, so that, you know, as soon as the sun would set for them, they would, you know, yes, back in the day, it was, you know, as soon as it got dark, they would eat and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
If you see what I mean.
That's right. I mean,
and then be up as soon as the sun starts to rise and starts to, you know what I mean, whatever, they would be up again at sunset. If you see what I mean, you know, make the most of the day. You know, as soon as the sun's up, you know, up and get to work.
Back to work, you know. And, yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, you got to think back then, no electric.
Mm.
You know, no lighting.
Yeah.
You know, so as soon as it did get dark, you know, very few people had candles back then. You know what I mean? They were expensive candles, even. You know what I mean? Only the rich could afford candles, in a funny way, you know. But like, you know, poor, as soon as it was, you know, they could afford candles. I don't think. Do you know what I mean? You know. So as soon as it got dark, it was dark. You know, and people went to sleep. And as soon as it got light, you know, it's time to kind of like go to work really back then, you know.
Yeah.
I think, you know, do some farming or something, you know. There was a lot more farming about back then, you know, like I'm talking about 500 years, 600, do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
You know, and since...
Because people had to be self-sufficient.
Well, like I say, it's a completely different reality back then, you know. Lots of farmers, you know, people kind of, you know, not talking about football, you know, so on, you know. And now we're living in a completely different world today, you know, where things have completely changed. You know, football's been invented, and some people love it, you know, some people don't. Cars are all around the world now.
Yeah.
You know, some people love that, some people don't. You know, and so on and so on, you know.
Yeah.
And personally, I think it's destroyed the world, all this traffic, you know, it's disturbed it.
Yeah.
You know, it's turned it into hell, rather than it used to be heaven. Before there was all these traffic and road.
Yeah.
Lots more birds about, whatever, you know. Lots more insects and butterflies about.
Yeah.
You know, so this is today, this is
reality.
reality.
Yeah.
You know, and you got, the funny thing is, if you want to be happy in life, you've got to accept it as well.
Of course, yeah.
You know, accept what is, even if you don't like it. You know, like I say, I don't like it, you know, like, I'd rather live 500 years ago in a funny way, you know, when it's more peaceful.
More simple.
Yeah, peaceful, I think, is more important, you know, like, we're living in a noisy world today, you know.
Life was much harder back then.
I don't know, yeah, well, you know, it's harder in different ways today.
In different ways today.
Yeah, I think, like, it's different,
it's
you know,
different.
You know, like we say...
I mean, life was harder in the sense of, like you said, a lot of those people were farmers and had their own livestock and etc. etc.
But in a way, it was nice though, it was a community,
you
see, you know, and they kind of like communicated together and did different jobs, you know, whatever. But it was more like a family, if you see what I mean, yeah? But today, there's no family, you know, we're kind of like destroyed as a family, in a funny way, I think, you know. We're not like, we don't really like each other anymore, a lot of people, you know, or have got time for each other, or, you know, we've got enough problems of our own, you know, and so on and so on. You know, and that's the reality of this modern world we're living in today, you know, and I think a lot of people are absolutely sick of it, really, you know, and a lot of people going to the doctors in a funny way, you know, because they're getting depressed, and so on, you know, because noisier.
Yeah.
I mean, you think like cars, you know, when they're first invented, I think they were quite noisy, apparently, and apparently, like the first motorbikes and all this that they invented, they were breaking the sound barrier.
Oh, okay.
And they had to ban them. You know, but still today, you know, I think, goodness me, you know, that's breaking the sound barrier. Do you know what I mean? You know, and you think, like, today the engines have got better technology, see?
Oh, for sure.
You know, they can make them by, you know, I've seen it, you know, on YouTube or whatever, you know. They can make some amazing engines today, you know. They've stepped up the technology, let's put it that way, you know. They keep stepping up year by year, just like they do computers, you know, and so on. You know, and these motorbikes are getting louder, if you ask me, do you know what I mean? You know, and it's disturbing, you know, I think. You know, it's like, personally, I don't like all the fireworks.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's now fireworks going off last night.
Yeah, Guy Fawkes night.
Well, you know, just think, you know, I think it's crazy. You know, you've got Halloween.
It's just another justification, mate, to do some fireworks and shit.
Well, Halloween, you know, that's number one. You know, it's a bit fantasy, really, isn't it? Like blood and all this, you know.
Yeah.
And then you've got adults saying to their children, "Happy Halloween," you know, like happy horror, happy death, and I don't know, you know, I just can't understand it, you know.
It's madness.
You know, and I think this has got to be celebrated that time of year. Then it's coming up to Christmas now, you know. Now the shops are filling up Christmas. It's all kind of business. It's all a business, like who can make the most money out of Christmas, really. You know, where we give our children Christmas presents what they might not even like, or they might play with it one day and then next minute it'll be not played with.
Yes, you know? Yeah.
Or you can buy a child something, something really nice, like they really fall in love with, so much that they don't love you anymore. They're playing with that all the time.
Yeah, completely,
Completely in love with that and passionate about that and don't love that, you know, do you know what I mean? You know, do you know what I mean? You know, so, you know, you got to be, you know, like with, you know, with everything, I think, you just got to be careful with your children, not, you know, sometimes I wish I didn't have any toys. You know, do you know what I mean? I wish I was just walking about in nature, looking at the butterflies and so on, do you know what I mean, and going around smiling, do you know what I mean? But I wish everybody else in the world was happy, and I think everybody wishes that, but we can't.
Yeah.
We're living in this stuck world, you know.
In this world,
We're stuck in this reality, do you know what I mean? Like I say, it's...
Where life is, especially right now, this current moment, life is getting harder and harder for most people. For even the average working, even the middle class people. That's why we were talking about last time. We are currently watching the middle class disappear before our eyes.
Yeah, that's right.
There's going to come to a point where there's going to be all there's going to be is the poor people and the rich people. All it would be is working class people. They'd be considered poor / working class people. If you see what I mean. People who are working check to check every month. You know? And, you know.
It's horrible reality, isn't it? Really. It's kind of like we're owned.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's what it is. That's what it is, you know, but you've got to be careful what you say, because, you know, it's, you know. But, yeah, that is the reality. That is the reality, mate.
It's like, you know, for instance, when I was born, you know, and when I was growing up, you know, I was a happy little child.
Well, if you think about it, right, mate? Just to break it down in layman terms, right? Most people have to work, let's say the average person works at 9 to 5, yeah? 40 hours a week, yeah? 9 to 5 every single day, yeah? That's 5 days a week. That pretty much most of their day is taken up by work. Because if they've got to start work at 9, more than likely they're going to be up about 7 o'clock to get ready quickly, have a shower, get ready, have maybe a cup of tea or something, hit the road and get to work for 9 o'clock. Yeah? And then maybe by the time they get home at night, it's about 5:30, 6 o'clock, let's say 6 o'clock. Yeah, just in case of traffic, whatever, they've got to drive, whatever. So yeah, their whole day is gone. And then they've got 2 days off.
It's like being a prisoner.
People get 2 days off from work, in which they have to fit in the time to do everything else that needs to be done around their house, in terms of housework, in terms of shopping, in terms of trying to see their family or their loved ones, their wife, their children, their whatever the case may be.
It's difficult.
And even at work, if you don't toe the line, and you're not politically correct and bite your tongue here and there and don't really express your true feelings, be politically correct and just say yes and you know you know, you have to ignore how you feel sometimes at work and swallow your pride. It even gets to that point where you can't even express your true feelings. You get fired.
No, sometimes at work you're not allowed to be self, are you?
You know, that's what I'm saying. So you have to be, you've got to toe the line and be politically correct and be, you know, and do what you're told kind of thing.
You can't go to sleep when you want, can you?
No.
At work,
so you've got to do what you're told and
sometimes you can.
Follow your boss's orders kind of thing, you know. So yeah, it's just like people give up. We give up our lives, and then not only that, but we pay all this money. A lot of people are working to pay all that money for a house or to rent a house or to buy a house that they don't ever even really live in.
I know.
Most of the time it's spent.
There's all kinds of situations out there, honestly.
It's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you get an old lady living on her own in a big house, you know, because her husband's died, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and so on.
Yeah.
You know, it is a kind of nightmare out there where some people, you know, like find it difficult to get a home, you know, or own it, you know, and all that. You know, go get on the property ladder.
Well, mate, people today can barely afford a rent.
Yeah.
Let alone anything else.
That's
a lot of people. So,
you know, I think we're, you know, assume, you know, we're living in a kind of nightmare in a funny way, you know. Some people got it easy, some people got it really tough.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
I mean, if you're intelligent, I think you can have it easy.
Yeah.
You know, if you think wisely about tomorrow and the future and so on.
Yeah.
You know, and not waste your money in the pub and all this and so on or whatever. And you're, you know, trying to be the best person possible. You know, keep away from trouble.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna probably have a good future if you see what I mean. You know, and keep aiming. You know, and don't give up. You know.
Yeah.
But I was talking about when I was younger. You know, sort of when I was a little boy. You know, growing up. You know, you don't realise you've got a birth certificate. You know, and then they pick you to a school, even where you know, they don't ask you or give you permission. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like a 9 to 5 job, but I mean, it's not quite. It's not 9 to 5. You know, but even so, it's Monday to Friday.
That's what I'm saying, same thing.
You know, so they're actually sort of like
indoctrinating you.
In a funny way, yeah, you know, like getting you used to the routine.
The routine.
Of getting into work.
That's
in a funny way, you know.
That's it, that's what it's all about.
Getting you just into that, you know, like when you begin at school, it's sort of like, I think, not so many hours on the first year.
Yeah.
You know, it's not so, and then they're not pushing these children heavily, you know, they're just letting them play with sand and doing what they want.
Yeah.
You know, but just fixing them, coming in Monday, dot on.
Yeah.
And then the alarm goes off, you can have your playtime now. Alarm goes off again, come in, got to do what you're told, do what you're told, do what you're told all the time. Do you know what I mean? And getting children to sort of like brainwashed.
Yeah.
Or do what they're told.
Yeah.
That's the, you know, I feel just, now I've grown up, right now I'm as old as I am, I'm angry that I've got a birth certificate on my head. Feels like I'm owned. And you know, I think everyone feels the same a bit, you know, do you know what I mean? You know, this is reality we're living in, you know, do you know what I mean? And I don't know how it happened, or why it's happened. You know, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad when you think about it, you know. I think it's nice that we've all got a birth certificate and we all know in a funny way where we are and all that. But it's like, I don't think everyone's got a birth certificate, you know. You know, I think it's like, for instance, the royal family haven't got one, but we have. Do you know what I mean? You know, and they want to keep an eye on us every move. And it's not nice. It's a bit like having a chain to you in a funny way, you know.
Yeah.
A number on your head or a tattoo.
That's it.
If you see what I mean, like a print on your head.
Like a social security number.
You know, like say this world's become quite disconnected, even though it's a modern world we're living in, we've got electricity and all that. People have become quite disconnected because there's so many distractions out here.
Yeah, true.
I think, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think it's good, you know, we're all different out here, aren't we? You know, we all got different kind of like, little bit of a different imagination, I think, you know, purely because we've had different backgrounds or different upbringings, you know, different parents, different memories, all of us, you know, not, you know, my brother even, right, okay, he's had the same parents, but he's not been in the same place as me, you know, as a child he went his own way, you know, sometimes had his own friends, you know, and had different, you know, different realities than I did. if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, and I think like we all are kind of like, you know, different realities.
Yeah.
Different memories as well. You know, we're all memories.
Mm.
You know, even a butterfly, if you saw it sort of land on a flower there, you'll remember it. It's a memory.
Yeah.
You know, we're all memories.
Yeah.
You know, we're all lights. You know, like when like the sun comes up, it lights us up. We're all memories now.
Yeah.
You know, you won't be able to remember us if it didn't come up. You know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Memories only work with light
Mm.
and sound. By the way, you know, like for instance, like if there wasn't no light, you could still hear things.
Yeah.
At night, you see what I mean? So even memories are, sorry, sounds are memories.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Smells are.
Everything. Yeah.
Touch.
Taste. Yeah.
Touch. You know, like if you know, like touch some nettles, for instance, you'll remember it, and you'll remember what it feels like too.
Yeah.
In a funny way, you know, and you won't want to do it again. You
Yeah.
remember it hurts. You know.
Yeah.
Which that's what I mean. I think that's why we've got pain. Really, you know, it gives us a memory to avoid.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not to touch it again, or touch a poisonous frog again, or whatever. You know, it's useful, isn't it? The memory.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Very useful. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't want to wake up and it was gone.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't even know who I was. If you know what I mean, or remembered what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Quite sad, wouldn't it?
So I think it, like the memory is also a very powerful, fascinating place.
Yeah.
For you to fantasize.
Yeah.
You know, what can we do in reality apart from dream? What can we do? You know,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, I think it's good to dream.
Yeah.
I think dreaming's better than reality. You know, like this reality we've got out there, it's not great, is it? Like the shutdown and what else is there?
Lots of things happening.
Well, what do you call it? Money. When the money's gone, you know, recession.
Well,
Triple recession.
They say right now we're in the worst. We're in the worst recession that they've ever seen in 33 years.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
and isn't it funny that they mentioned 33?
Yeah.
Because 33 is a Masonic number too.
Yeah, 66.
And isn't it funny how
60, whatever.
you know how they mentioned 33?
Yeah. So I mean, there's.
It's almost like this shit is all planned, you know. But I even saved it in my phone the other day. I think popped up on my phone. And it said Bank of England releases a statement saying the UK are right now in the worst recession that they've seen in 33 years. So
It depends who you are, doesn't it? You know, like they say that. Someone said that.
But that only applies to the lower class people. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, so like some reality, right? They don't. It's not affecting them at all. They're rich. So, you know, and some people get rich out of a recession. You know.
Yeah.
You know, like for instance, like these. You know, when they shut down.
Yeah.
Someone made a large profit out of the gloves.
Oh yeah.
And the
mask and PPE and all that shit.
You know, next, I mean, as soon as they shut down, they were selling them in all these masks in different shops. With patterns
I wish that I'd own one of those companies, mate. That or have some shares in one of those companies that used to produce gloves and masks, mate.
That's right.
Especially masks. You know what I mean? You would have made an absolute fortune, mate. Still to this day.
I think he owns America. Whoever invented the rubber glove, I think he owns America now.
Yeah, and the mask. So that's that mask, mate. That mask.
So rich.
The one who owns the patent for that mask.
Yeah.
For the mask. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, as soon as sort of like that shutdown happened, whatever, you know, they were selling masks in the shop with different powers and all this.
All types of different.
You know, different types of masks.
Yeah.
You know, but then there's people going in the office. It's kind of funny in a fun way, you know, like people going in the bank with masks on now, you know.
Yeah, that's what I used to find funny too.
Outside.
I remember we joked about that one time as well, because once upon a time, if you wore a mask in the bank, they think that you're coming to bloody rob the joint.
Well, yeah, they're phone the police.
They think that you're coming to rob the place, but now they're
phone the police if you don't wear a mask.
Yeah. It's completely backwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's completely backwards. Yeah, that's crazy.
And they put all these plastic stuff everywhere.
It's like you're allowed to wear a mask into the bank. That's crazy.
You know, put all these plastic stuff all of a sudden everywhere, you know, with little holes in it, like letter boxes, so you can give them the money. You're still passing the money, for God's sake, you know. So what's
but what used to make me laugh is that they used to have that side thing there, but then when you go around the pack your groceries, they're still in direct contact with you, if you see what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the thing wasn't all the, like, even in Morrison's, it wasn't all the way round, was it? It was literally just next to the till bit, if you see what I mean. It didn't go all the way round to the part where you packed your groceries, did it? So you were still having to give her the money, and she was still like, you know.
So I felt like, honestly, I've said it before, you know, I did feel like a bit of a, like a cow.
And not only that, but they were making people social distance, yeah, queue up in social distance, yeah. And then when people got in the supermarket, they weren't social distancing. If you see what I mean. We were all queuing up 6 feet apart outside the shops. And then when people actually got inside the shops, people weren't actually, you know what I mean, people were still right next to each other, and you know.
I think, I just think we're all kind of like children.
I think, mate, honestly, right, mate, I think it was a social experiment.
Probably.
To be honest.
You know, like say that, you know, all these public schools, you know, you go to school and you're suddenly being told what to learn, whether it's science or this or whatever. You know, I had to do woodwork when I was at school, metalwork.
Yeah.
I didn't do all that. Even though I was good at woodwork or whatever, but, you know, I don't do woodwork today. But I suppose it's come in handy or whatever, but, you know, I just find it's just too early, right? You know, I think I left Mum, you know, went to school when I was 5. Mum was separated, whatever, you know, and I needed to be home with my mum at that age, you know, do you know what I mean? You know, and I think it's just wrong to go out of that school at that age. You know, 10 maybe, you know, later, you know, but this is the reality we all live in, you know, do you know what I mean? We've got to go to school, and, you know, even today they got, you know, getting more stricter, you know, like if you Skype from school, you know, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, in my day, when I, you know, like, 40 years ago, whatever, you know, it's funny when I look back, you know, 40 years, it's gone really quick. Only seems like last week, really, you know. And that's the magical thing about the memory.
Yeah.
It kind of sticks together.
Yeah.
Like it, you know, like it feels like I was born a few minutes ago. Seriously, you know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know. You know, life is one moment.
Yeah.
You know, one big moment.
One big Kodak moment.
And you go to sleep sometimes, you know, now and again, you know. And
yeah.
Got to wake up and get on and face reality again. You know.
Start again.
Well, like I say, you know, like things always go wrong. You know, there's always something to fix, for instance, you know, in reality. You know, like when one thing goes wrong, something else is, you know, there's always problems. You know, but I kind of like problems, you know, but, you know, you go round in circles in kind of way in life, you know, with problems.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like problems, you're not going to be happy in life, you know. You've got to face your problems. And, try to get above them so you don't get any, really, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
You know, and I think, like, we all got our own reality, you know.
Oh, we all, yeah.
Like, you can go home, you can go to bed at 1 if you wanted, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you can choose.
Yeah.
You know, and tomorrow you wake up, you can kind of, like, decide what you're going to do for the day, you know.
Of course, yeah.
Like, with your children, you've got children, you know, so your reality is different to mine now, you know.
Yeah.
Like I say, I used to have children, you know, but I've done your bit, you know. And one day you're going to experience my bit when you look at your children and they're bigger than you.
Of course,
you know, my children, I think they're all bigger than me now, you know.
I was going to say my son's almost 10 already, you know. And like, you know, my son was born when I was 20. So by the time I'm 40, he'll be 20.
Yeah.
So we're not too far apart, really.
Not really, nothing.
If you see what I mean.
Really not, are you?
You know. So that's interesting in itself, isn't it? To see how our relationship will be when he's 20 and I'm 40. You know, if you get what I mean. You know.
I think that's an interesting thing to talk about. You know, like when you're younger, you look at the world with a different reality.
Yeah.
You know, and then as you become an you know, before you get married, a young adult, whatever.
Yeah.
Life's, you know, you're not a child anymore.
Yeah.
You've done that bit, and you can look at your childhood. So life's a different reality again.
Yeah.
You know, so it kind of depends what age you're at to in life as well. You know, like if you're 88 right now, you'll be a bit wiser in life, you know, and you've experienced many years, you know, whatever, and you've been married, and you've had a childhood, you might be married 3 times.
Yeah.
And so on, you know. But that's another thing to look at, we're all different ages, you know. And even, like today, everyone that's alive is kind of the same age in a funny way, because we're all living in the same moment, we're all alive in the same moment. But we're all different ages sometimes, you know, and some people are wiser than others.
Yeah.
You know, it's like some children, they're wiser than older people sometimes, you know, because the older person not learning anything because they've watched telly all their life.
Yeah, yeah.
And so on, do you know what I mean? They've not done anything, you know, with their brain to open it up, you know. I mean, you know, that's what I love about my life. I've explored, you know, I'm not being scared of it in a funny way, you know, and I've become independent at an early age, to be honest with you, you know, because my mum gave me a steel shed and I made it my home.
Yeah.
You know, and I used to tidy it up.
Your little man cave and
Right,
shit.
it didn't have a sink or anything in there, but I used to live in there most of the time, do you know what I mean? And I used to tidy it up and it become my home.
Yeah.
And I become kind of like, I used to do my own cooking a bit, you know, when I went upstairs, you know, and go back in my shed.
Yeah.
You know, live in there, do you know what I mean?
Your little space.
I was a bit like Jungle Book Boy, in a funny way, you know, like a bit different to everyone else, you know. Mum and Dad divorced and into insects, you know. So like I said, we've got different realities with our hobbies as well, you know. Like I said, I love birds, insects, nature. And a lot of people love nature, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
But some people don't.
Yeah.
Or some people don't care about it, or not compassionate about it, you know. Or they're into playing darts all week.
Yeah.
Which is not my cup of tea.
Yeah, not my cup of tea either.
But, you know, like, each to their own.
To each their own, yeah.
If you enjoy it, do it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like...
We all create our own realities, you know.
Yeah.
And we all create our own fantasy too as well.
Yeah,
because there's lots of people out there that have fantasies and shit, mate. Whether it be, you know, whatever. You know, people fantasize about all types of shit, you know. Yeah. So...
Well, I'd love to make a film, do you know what I mean? You know, fantasize about... I mean, we've had a couple of ideas in the past.
We've got some good ideas. We're not going to share them with the public, mate.
No, let's share them.
Nah, we don't. I don't want people stealing our ideas, mate. Just in case we do decide to, you know, to do this shit one day, you know. If you see what I mean.
Okay.
You never know. We might end up doing that shit for real one day.
Okay, I won't say. You know, I won't say. I can remember.
But yeah, we got some really good film ideas though. That's for certain.
Yeah, you know, and it's like
that we can say. Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to have the money actually right now.
For finance.
Well, you know, like if I had, say, like Bill Gates kind of money in my bank right now, you know, that kind of money, I could wake up tomorrow and actually think, I'm going to make a film today.
That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it?
You know, yeah.
Because we already got the ideas. And,
yes,
you know.
Exactly, yeah. I've got some good ideas, some good films.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, you know, as soon as you've got the money, you can fantasize in a funny way.
Yeah.
You know, money gives you the power to dream.
But no, money then gives you the power to take action.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes, because money talks. And
lights,
people,
camera.
Yeah.
Action, literally.
You know.
You know. Because once you've got the money, you can finance it. You know.
Get the makeup girls.
You can pay for your directors and etc. Well, you can you can be producer because you're the one with the idea with the vision of where where it starts and where it goes and where it ends, kind of thing. But you've got to have people who can bring it to life for you, if you see what I mean. You know.
Get the right actors.
And you need actors that you've got to pay.
Yeah.
So,
pay the right, the best actors. So you'd have to pay a bit more money.
So that's what I'm saying. You might be looking at a few million. You might be looking at a few million easily. You might be looking at a good.
I'd get you to get,
You might be looking. You might be looking at a good 5-10 million just to finance a film. You know.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about a big film anyway. You could finance a low budget film.
Yeah.
For much less than that, if you see what I mean, and it could still be quite good.
But that's another thing that changes reality, really, doesn't it? Money, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you had a pile of money in your bank account right now, you could wake up and make a film tomorrow.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to sort of, you'd phone up your boss, wherever you're working.
Yeah.
And you say, I'm not coming, I'll just come to some money. And say, yeah, I understand. Whatever, yeah.